סרטון אחד שלדעתנו הוא הסרטון ששותף הכי הרבה פעמים בשבועות האחרונים, סרטון שבו בריג'יט גבריאל, ערבייה מלבנון שעקרה לארצות הברית ומאז עסוקה בלתקוף את האסלאם, עונה לסטודנטית מוסלמית ששאלה אותה שאלה מטריסה יחסית, מיד איתנו ברעיון מיוחד, אבל תחילה בואו נזכר בסרטון.
We have 8 million plus Muslim Americans in this country, and I don't see them represented here.
I am so glad you brought that up because it gives us an opportunity to answer. There are 1.2 billion Muslims in the world today. Of course, not all of them are radicals. The majority of them are peaceful people. The radicals are estimated to be between 15 to 25%. You're looking at 180 million to 300 million people dedicated to the destruction of Western civilization. It's the radicals that kill. Most Germans were peaceful, yet the Nazis drove the agenda, and as a result, 60 million people died.
בריג'יט, שלום.
שלום.
אני מבין שאת מדברת גם כמה מילים בעברית, זה נכון?
בטח אני מדברת עברית, גרתי במבשרת ציון ובירושלים, עבדתי בבנייני אומה, אבל בגלל אני לא מדברת עכשיו, I prefer to do it in English because I will understand it much better and it will flow much better.
זה דווקא נשמע לי כמו עברית מושלמת, מה שהיה עד עכשיו, את יודעת. לא רע בכלל.
Thank you. I worked as a קריינית, I was the news anchor for Middle East television, טלוויזיה המזרח התיכון.
אוקיי, ספרי לי קצת על עצמך לפני הפרק של ישראל בחייך, כאמור התגוררת בלבנון, נכון?
I was born in Lebanon and I was raised in Lebanon during the war. My 9/11 happened to me in Lebanon in 1975 when Palestinians and Islamists blew up my home, bombed my home, bringing it down, burying me under the rubble wounded. I ended up in a hospital for 2.5 months and later ended up living in a bomb shelter underground for 7 years from the age of 10 till the age of 17. I come from the town of Marjayoun in the security zone, and I used to go to Israel in and out all the time through the Gadera Tova.
ויש גם עניין עם אמא שלך
My mother was wounded and was treated in Safad Hospital in Israel during the Milchamat Galil in 1982 when Israel went into Lebanon. And those days, I spent 22 days in Isfat, and those days really changed my life. It made me realize what an amazing country Israel is, what an amazing people the Jews are. Actually, I ended up being born in Lebanon, being taught that Israel is the enemy, to moving to Israel and living in Israel and actually burying my parents in Israel.
איזה סוג של תגובות קיבלת בעקבות הסרטון הוויראלי?
It was amazing. I mean, I got responses from all over the world. I got speaking engagements from all over the world. Australia, Brazil, South Africa. It created an open dialogue in an area where a lot of people are afraid to venture, are afraid to get into those very uncomfortable discussions about where are the true moderate Muslims. When you see radicals killing children, like what they did in Israel, kidnapping 3 teenagers and killing them, where is the outcry of the world? I mean, we understand fighting soldier to soldier, but when you start killing civilians and doing it in the name of your religion, because we see that most terrorists always use verses from the Quran as to justify why they did their horrible acts of murder.
כן, אבל הם יגידו שישראל הורגת ילדים גם כן, ושזה קורה לא אחת, כפי שראינו אפילו היום.
Israel only reacts when Israel is provoked. I can tell you my experience. When I was in Lebanon and the Palestinians surrounded our town to take us, to bomb us before Israel liberated us, the Palestinians used to put their cannons and their artillery in front of our bomb shelter. The Palestinians would launch rockets at Israel, fully knowing that Israel is going to retaliate, and when Israel retaliates, children are going to die. My mother almost died fighting with a Palestinian leader, begging him to move his cannon, explaining to him that we were 9 children in a bomb shelter and they would not move it. He wanted to shoot her. So this is what we are dealing with, and this is the message that we need to get to the world. And I'm speaking from experience as an Arab child who was trapped in a bomb shelter in Lebanon where the Palestinians used me as a pawn in order to shell Israel, and then knowing that my images, if I die, will be all over the world.
תגידי, מישהו מצוות ההסברה הישראלי פנה אלייך אולי ואמר בואי נעבוד ביחד? כי נשמע לי שיש על מה לדבר.
No, not yet. I remember speaking at Duke University back in 2004, and I was instructed by Hillel, which is a Jewish organization on campus, not to mention the word Palestinian, not to mention the word suicide bombing, not to mention the word terrorism, and here we were speaking about Israel on a pro-Israel rally. And I was condemned after I gave my speech by Hillel and the Jewish community because I offended the Palestinians when I talked about how Palestinians send suicide bombers and blow their children up just to kill Jews and Christians. The Jewish community did not like those words at that time, and they stayed away from reaching out to me and working with me and getting the message out to the rest of the world. Because they did not want to offend the Palestinians.
תגידי, מה המטרה שלך עכשיו, מעכשיו, נניח?
Giving my message out, at least to the Israeli people and the Jewish people, to understand that they do have friends in the Arabic world. They do have friends outside working so hard.
אוקיי, בריג'יט, תודה רבה לך. Thank you very much. תודה, ביי. הסברה? אתם צריכים הסברה? הנה לכם הסברה. קחו אותה.